Knowing which battery is going to take you across the finish line the best in racing, especially the oval racing that I do, is like imperative. Just small differences can lead to that last couple of tenths a second that you might need, that last 5 to 10 laps of the run, to keep you on top or to make a push for that TQ spot. I've been looking for a battery system that is easy to use and affordable, that kind of does all of this for us so we can charge, discharge, and also get some information. Problem is, I found is that there are some problems with it, and it's not really some clear information on YouTube about everything. So I'm Chad. This is the Dork Game 40 RC channel, and today we're going to talk about the Hitec RDX2 800 and the BD380 discharge and charge system. Now, this is the same thing that is available from Sky RC. It's the same software and everything else. I think the Hitec is a little bit more expensive because it's a Hitec brand. Who knows what in the world it is going to cost in the future, but right now, this is where it is at. Now, this thing is very, very cool. If I was a 2S racer, then this is all that I would ever need, because it is able to charge really at good speeds, good enough for me, 15-20 amps as far as like how fast you want to charge your 2S batteries, which, if we're running like a 2S type of battery in our buggy, that's pretty much what I will charge most of mine at anyway, is around 12 to 15 amps. I don't want to beat them up, even though modern lipos are pretty well capable. Make sure you're always using a lipo bag and keeping an eye on everything. But the awesome thing about this is the discharge system has software that you can hook this up to your computer, and it has the phone app that you can use that will Bluetooth connect to both of these things, and you can set and operate both of them. You can, operate your charger, you can operate your discharger, and then what you can do is you can run these discharge cycles through here and actually get the information that you're wanting. Like, there's a constant current mode, so you can say, I want this thing to constantly pull 20 amps from this battery until it's dead, and then you can compare it to the other battery that you have, and you get all kinds of information on your computer or on your phone about how long it took to get the storage voltage, internal resistances, all that kind of stuff. So all the stuff that you need to make like informed and educated decisions. Again, my problem is I don't do a lot of 2S racing. I do with my buggy, but I only have typically like 2 to 4 2S batteries that I run, and I know that they're all pretty good. I don't beat them to death nowhere near as much as I do as my 1S batteries, that I have a set that I run for oval, and I have a set that I use for on-road. Usually I take my older oval batteries and transition them to on-road. Now, depending upon what kind of battery you have, most of you buy batteries from AMAN or whoever, and you don't really know what the battery does, period. So this is a good way to benchmark your batteries. If you're not buying a battery from somebody like PowerPush, for example, who actually will run and the batteries, and you pay a premium for this information, but you know what you're getting at least when you buy a battery, and you know that you're not getting like substandard batteries, because he doesn't want to put out any substandard batteries that has his name on it. So at least you get a marker. Some people may or may not agree with those kind of methods, but like I said, at least you know what you are buying. So let's hook up this battery to the RDX 2800 here, and I haven't ran the RDX 2800 or this battery in a while. This, of course, I am sending back just because, again, it doesn't meet my needs, so I got to find something else to work with here. So if we look at the actual screen here, and we got the charger here, it works really cool. You can do all this on the screen with the usual interface that you can see, or you can run everything here. So I want to do a lipo, 2S charge, and this is pretty well charged up already. So let's say we're going to do this at 5 amps. We just hit start and hit the button. Now, if you take a look at the screen here, you can see that it actually is charging. It's going to show us everything here that we're doing on our balance. And like any other charger, we can scroll and we can take a look at the internal resistances that we are getting. I'm running just off of mains power, but I've tested this with mains power. You know, you can obviously get more out of DC, but I was charging 2 batteries at 20 amps per channel, no problem. And it was a very, very decent time, like 15 to 20 minutes. So, you know, that's plenty of time in between heats and everything else. So we'll let this battery charge up, and then we'll run the actual discharge feature over here on the BD380 and show you what that looks like. While it's charging, you get to see like your basic information for your battery on your phone. And again, if you're running this on a PC or something, you could get all this information as well. So 2S, this thing is an amazing system. Again, for me, for 1S, it just loses its mind, which for some reason, a lot of stuff with 1S does just seem to lose its mind. So now that the battery is completely charged up, what we can do is we can either run a regular discharge cycle into the 8380, or we can run the actual discharge and analyze. So if we click on the discharge and analyze, we're seeing that we want it to go down. I kind of wish that it would allow us to just go to storage or raise this to a higher voltage. So that way, you know, you can have a little bit more fine control, but you can only go to like 3.4 volts and as low as 3 volts. So if we want to send this all the way down to 3.4 volts, we can select our discharge current here as well. And this time what we're going to do is use the little bit of software, the Hi-Tech Charge Manager, just to kind of show you a little bit better. So we just basically plug in the USB-C cable here into the side, and then we've got the power and data cable going out to the screen here. And now you can manipulate everything here on the actual application, and you'll see the readings and everything that's going on over here. So if I want to go to battery analyzer, and let's say I want the graph in minutes, we want to do the discharge capacity at 20 amps, and let's raise this up to 6.8 as far as like what it's going to do. And then all you have to do now is just click on new test. And what it's going to do is give you a warning, and then we're going to hit start. And now it is going to automatically start this process, and it is going to do the discharge cycle. Now, it's very important that you have it plugged in to the right port. The discharge cycles will only work on port number A, which is the port on the left. So it's barking at me, telling me that I have to change my connection. So now that we've done that, we can go ahead and click on the new test, click on start, and now it's going to go ahead and run through everything. And everything's going to kick on. You're going to get your live data and everything that's going on. You can really see also at the beginning, like how hard it'll hit like a battery. So you can see like when that 20 amps like kicks in, like the battery really gets hit hard really quick. Like we're, you know, sitting at 4.04 volts per cell already. And then it's going to kind of level out, and it's going to kind of squiggly around here until we get to a point. And then what you can do is you could do this with another battery, and then you can overlay your results. So again, this only works for 2S and above. 1S batteries, unfortunately, it doesn't work at all, and that is the functionality that I was looking for. Now, while this is going on, I think you can actually hover and click on these little dots here, and it would, on the phone, it actually, like, you can get kind of a minute, kind of a second by second peak as far as like what's going on as far as with your battery during that. But up here, when this is all done, you can save the test, and then you can export it. And then later on, you can do like different comparisons and everything else. So for 2S, again, this is all you would probably ever need if you're okay with the finite controls. You can only go to certain voltages on the discharge side, on the storage side, and on the charge side. So for those of you that might want to charge these up, you know, a little bit higher or discharge them a little bit lower, it's only going to give you so much information. So keep that in mind. These are Bluetooth. They do work with the phone, as we went over. They're both fully updatable, and Hi-Tech and SkyRC are putting out a lot of updates for these. a lot to make them better. They've made like subtle improvements. I know other people that have been running these in the Sky RC version, and it works just fine, for me, but the 1S stuff that I need just doesn't work at all. So I'm going to be sending my back, and we're going to be trying something else. So I'm going to let this thing discharge. I think you guys pretty much get the idea. It's a charger and a discharging and a battery analyzer system that will give you pretty good information to show you what is going on with your packs, so you can always pick that best pack for that best performance. So let me know if you got any questions. That's all I got for you. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.